All right, so as we build venture number 4, I want to take you all the way back to venture number uno, number 1, when we started our very first business back in 2007. And in year 5, we had the chance to exit that business. Now, we stayed and worked after the investors came in, but we had a chance to sell the business. We sold the majority of the business, and we were not intentional about setting up the business to be for sale early on. And it led to some hard lessons, some really tricky times, and some long due diligence periods as we were doing that. So today, coffee's up. I want to take you into the journey that we had back in 2007 through 2012 and kind of give you the steps that you could use in your business that you're building today to be exit ready when the time is right. You don't have to exit, right? You can work as long as you want. But when the time comes, if you're ready, it changes the game for you, for your business, and for your employees. So here we go. Office space number 1, sat down to talk shop with you. So here we go. All right, so 2007, we started business. 2 guys didn't know much about what we were doing in entrepreneurship, at least I didn't. And the chance came to start a business, and I jumped on it and risked a young family, risked no job, risked everything to take this endeavor. And guess what? Everything went wrong. We got sued. Very hard time. We didn't get any of the jobs we thought we were going to get when we started. Very hard times. We almost ran out of money multiple times. We started looking for jobs in the first, 6 to 9 months. We nearly gave up during that time, and it was difficult. But we kept going. And every horrible thing that could happen happened, but we made it through. How do we make it through? We just persevered day by day. And that's the story of entrepreneurship. And then one day there's a glory moment where you might get a chance to exit. So our chance came in 2012. We were in year 5. We had kind of went through a couple years of sort of low growth. Year 3 and 4, we sort of took off. Year 5, got a letter in the mail from someone who said, hey, I'd like to buy your business. To be honest, I didn't know you could sell a business. So I took the letter and I put it in a stack next to the fax machine and the printer, which at the time we had those, and I just left it there. That was March of 2012. Around April, we got a phone call from a strategic buyer who said, hey, Andy, we would love to acquire your business. They were a partner to ours and great people. Really enjoyed working with them. And so we entertained both a private equity buyer and a strategic buyer. Both are very different. And so where you are in your business depends what kind of investor you want to take on. So a private equity buyer is going to buy you, they're going to grow you, and then they're just required to flip you again. That's just part of the program. That's what they do. And that's how they operate. That's how they make their money. And that's fine. That's great. And then you've got, and their traditional hold period would be, let's call it 3 to 7 years, depending on where you hit them in their cycle, in their fund. Strategic buyer is going to buy you, roll you up into their business, and you'll become a brand, you'll become an employee, and you'll become one of them. We chose private equity for 2 reasons. One, it was a little bit higher multiple, so a little bit higher purchase price. And more importantly, this first business was our baby. We loved our baby. It was the first business we ever had. It started to make some money. We had some great employees. We had like 75 employees at one time. It was wonderful. Their spouses, everything was great about that. We really loved the culture, the community, the people. And in year 5, we chose PE, private equity, versus strategic because we were afraid that we would lose our baby. Lessons learned in all of that. Hit me up below if you want to talk through some of that. And here's how the sales cycle went. First, we started talking about, with each prospective buyer, their purchase price. And once they give you a purchase price, you go into a letter of intent. It's a piece of paper with some rough terms. Nothing is binding. Hey, we're looking at this purchase price, this time frame, and then you negotiate that back and forth. That took probably a month. And then we entered into an LOI where we were now signed to give this particular buyer a due diligence period to look under the hood, look under the sheets, look under our gowns at everything about the business, everything. And we were not at all exit ready. So, number one thing you can do to prepare for an exit, know that the end will come at some point. There's 5 things they talk about. Death, I hope I remember them all. Death, disease, disability, divorce, and disagreement. I think I got them all. Those things, when they hit your business, can create a virus that will cause you to need to sell, exit, whether you wanted to or not. So when one of those 5 things happen, or you just get ready to sell, or you get tired, then it's time to exit. Well, you need to have your business exit ready. So you got to put the right foundation in place from day one. So I encourage you to do that. It took us 9 months of due diligence to get to where we exited that first business. And the second business that we exited took 3 months, and it was painless. We sent our controller to Hawaii on a company paid trip after that first exit because it was so hard. We had 7 entities, and he had to roll up each of those into one single entity. And it was a lot, and it was hard, and it was painful. And the deal goes on and off constantly in a 9-month period. And so, number one, get your business exit ready. And just remember, when I say exit ready, have everything documented, everything in the right place, all your financials buttoned up. Make sure you're not, which we weren't doing this, but make sure you're not breaking the corporate veil of treating the company like your personal piggy bank. All right, that's a big thing. And just get everything tidied up. Do that ahead of time. We'll also show that you are more valuable, because a lot of buyers these days will try to pick you up as a messy little company at a lower price than they would if you were already rocking and rolling and exit ready. Second thing, lesson learned, don't get attached. This company is not your identity. It's something you built, but it could leave you one day. And if it leaves you one day, you got to be ready to live your own self after that. Part of a group, and it's a lot of post-exited founders, a lot of second, third time entrepreneurs who have built and exited businesses. And there's a pretty big population, I don't have any stats around, when you exit that business, there's a big void there. And you come out kind of on a little identity check of what you want to do, be, and continue to do. So I always say you do not retire, you simply repurpose. So start thinking about that after effects day one. I think that's a good thing as well. Once, in the typical progression, if things go well, we always said the cash that you get at close is the cash that you should basically count on. Because if you structure your deal, and there's a lot of creative, very creative financial engineering opportunities out there, but if you structure your deal with a portion of your cash up front and a portion of your cash earned out or bonused out over time, just know you may or may not control the outcome of that company. Market conditions could change. Leadership could change. Board decisions could change. Company could take a different direction, right? There's a lot of things that could happen. So just know the money you get at closing, we always would tell ourselves this is the money we're going to make sure that we know and have and love. I'm getting a phone call, so hold on while I shoot this. Let me send them a message saying I'll call them back. Hey, in a meeting, but I'll call you after. The next thing to do is it gets really tricky around your employees, because if you've built that business up, there's probably a big old allegiance to the culture that you've created, to the way that you do things, and it freaks people's stuff out with uncertainty when change happens. So now all of a sudden new leadership's coming in, new ownership's coming in, and it will freak out the employees. The better you can manage and weave that story in is the better, because remember, people do not want change, they do not like change, and change is difficult. Change management is one of the hardest things ever. We're doing a lot, our company thesis here at Create Industries is we want to build the bridge of innovation in old school industries. So we want to be innovators where we change things, and that's such a hard thing to do. Change management is so very hard. And so know that there will be change, know that there will be hurt people, know that there will be hard feelings, but over communicate. I like to say align the golden thread. So make sure that that thread at the top is aligned all the way to the bottom so that everyone knows what direction we're rowing and what path we're going on. Buyers will do several things in due diligence. And I'm jumping around, but just giving you the flavor. They're going to talk to your customers. They're going to look at all your financials. They're going to look at all your contracts. They're going to review your contracts. They're going to have financial, legal, insurance, due diligence. They're going to talk to your employees. They're going to talk to your team. They're going to have their own opinions about your team that you may not have. And they're going to look at opportunities to How do they now take you and grow you? So in the world of investors, you have angel investors who put their money in and may or may not be up in your shorts all day. They may forget you and leave you. They may be all up on you. Then you've got, from angel investors, you've got private equity, you've got family offices, you've got strategic buyers. Each of those are a little different. You've got venture capital, that's very early stage, although my opinion of venture capital is that they are looking for companies with already traction. So they're not investing in ideas, they're investing in traction related companies that they can explode. So they're looking for huge 100x returns because most of their portfolios can be losers. Private equity is going to be looking for outsized returns from the market. And then you've got strategics who are looking to roll you in. Could be a variety of reasons a strategic might buy you. Could be to kill you, could be to park you, could be to grow you, could be to, they're scared. And then what a traditional private equity company will do is buy you, grow you, exit to another private equity company. And they may go through that until they exit to a strategic, or they may even do an IPO, lots of phases. So little taste of what the world looks like. If you had 3 takeaways, takeaway 1 is whether you're thinking about it or not, think about how your business could exit if one of the 5 Ds happen: death, divorce, disease, disagreement, or there's another one I can't remember. Number 2, make sure you're aligning the golden thread in your business. Whether you've got 2 employees or 150, make sure everyone is rowing on the same page. Build a culture from day one. It's super awesome. That's what we're doing in Create Industries. That's what we're doing in the businesses that we love to work for. And 2, be open to change. Change is going to happen whether you like it or not. Right now we're in a crazy period of time where the world's changing, and so you have to be ready to change. And so friends, Andy Smith, if you hadn't met, building venture number 4, sharing the journey. Today is day 5, I think. Let me look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Today's day 5. Traveled last week, back in the saddle this week, rocking and rolling. Just want to tell you a little bit about the exit strategy because I had a neat conversation last week that prompted me for this one. So as we're starting, wherever you are on the journey, think about the end and build toward that. All right, friends, take care. Keep rocking. Love you.